Hi, my name's David Roach. This is my database research project. For my two companies, I chose Anheuser-Busch versus Molson Coors, and let's see which company is better out of the two. So, just a little background for each company. Anheuser-Busch was founded in 1852 in St. Louis, Missouri by Eberhard Anheuser and Adolphus Busch, originally known as Bavarian Brewery. They later changed the name. They became popular due to Adolphus Busch's introduction of the refrigerated rail cars and pasteurization, which was very massive at the time. No one has ever heard of that, which helped Budweiser, their main beer, become one of the first nationally distributed beers. Governance at Anheuser-Busch includes oversight of its brand portfolio, strategic planning, regulatory compliance, and sustainability initiatives, which is pretty big. I know both of the companies really care about sustainability because they are dealing with aluminum cans that can just get thrown anywhere. So sustainability is pretty massive in this industry if they want to keep going with being okay with recycling and all that. So people can continue to like their product and not really have to find the negatives in it. Anheuser-Busch is really into sponsorships, which is pretty big in this industry. Everyone wants to just sit down for a game and just drink a few beers with some friends. So they're into sponsorships. They're the beer of the NFL, which is pretty big. They have cars in NASCAR. They're in movies. Molson Coors doesn't really sponsor that much, which kind of hurts them in the long run. Because when you see a product, you're like, oh, I want that. So anywhere that you can show sponsorships is pretty big for a business deal. The company has many products, including Budweiser, Bud Light, Busch, Michelob, seltzers, and that's just a few of their alcohol. I wasn't going to name over 15 beers for their product. And then they also sell alcohol-free beverages, which I didn't really know. I knew like non-alcoholic beer they sold, but they're in the beverages like water. Also, Molson Coors gets in that, but we'll get into that later. So they're one of the largest brewery and distribution networks in the United States, and they're one of many big industries in the whole world. They are worldwide. And their motto is bring people together for a better world. So let's get over to the Molson Coors aspect of this. So they were founded in 1786 for the Molson Brewery in Montreal, Canada, by John Molson, and in 1873 founding of Coors Brewery by Adolph Coors in Golden, Colorado. The two companies merged in 2005. And governance at Molson Coors involves managing its North American and European divisions, overseeing global beverage strategy, regulatory compliance, supply chain operations, and brand development, which they rebrand often. Anheuser-Busch doesn't rebrand that much. Products that you might know: Coors Light, Coors Banquet, Miller Lite, Molson Canadian, Blue Moon, Lanacolgills, and they also are into the non-alcoholic products. They have energy drinks and water brands. Operates breweries, production centers, and distribution networks across the United States, Europe, and Canada, making it one of the world's largest brewers with Anheuser-Busch. So, and their motto is to delight the world's beer drinkers while securing long-term sustainability for our business. So their main thing is sustainability as well. So how are these companies similar? There are similarities. Anheuser-Busch and Molson are both major beer producers in the alcoholic beverage industry. They both sell beers. They both sell seltzers. So they're very similar. They operate large brewing and distribution networks across North America. Age demographics, both because they are very similar products, they are mostly the same age demographic. You're looking at that 21 to 49, main source of their products, United States, so 21. But in Europe, 18 to 49, These are just the main things, so it can go under and it can go over. And they are both worldwide distribution beer companies. So liquidity, I chose to do current ratio. In this industry, a good current ratio should typically be 0.8 to 1.2. Both of them are under that, which is surprising because they are two of the biggest beer distributioners in the world. So Molson Coors is doing a better job after COVID. You see that 2020, Anheuser-Busch takes a leap down, and they were going down for a while. But in Molson Coors, they shot up. I don't know if it's to do with advertising during the time. Maybe some people, it was showing sitting down, drinking a beer at home because we couldn't really hang out with others. But you can see that, boom, that big spike up. Both of them, it even brought Anheuser-Busch's down to up. So I want to know what really happened in 2023 that really shot them up. Anheuser-Busch's current ratio has been declining for a while, but it is steady now. Now it seems to be lightly increasing, like I said, after that 2023 incident. Activity, I chose to do inventory turnover. Molson Coors turn inventory really, really fast. It is almost double. I think it is double than Anheuser-Busch inventory turnover. They sell through products very quick each year. They both show a strong positive upward trend each year. In retrospect, they are very similar in their rate of progression because they are very similar products. When people drink more beer, both companies are kind of follow that. Go straight down a little bit and then up. So they're very similar because they're such similar products, which is cool to see. A lot of these things, it's all about the branding because they're so similar products, but a lot of these ratios are very different. So profitability, one of the most important things. Gross profit margin. Anheuser-Busch has consistently outperformed Molson Coors in gross profit margin each of these last 5 years, which means Anheuser is making more profit from sales after costs each year. Molson Coors shows a dip in 2022, but has made a good recovery. Anheuser, very steady. Anheuser-Busch has been staying near the 60% range with minor changes, meaning steadier cost control. You can see how Anheuser-Busch is that steady flow, and Molson Coors is kind of that year to year. So maybe they do it once a year, focus on it, and then so it's kind of that year to year. You can see big points that you just go boom, boom, then straight. So that was kind of interesting to look into. So for coverage, I did debt to assets ratio. Anheuser-Busch carries more debt relative to its assets, higher leverage, and greater financial risk than Molson. And it seems like doing that financial risk is helping Anheuser-Busch here. Molson has a noticeable spike in 2023 and then a dip in 2024, usually indicating an increase in liabilities. Again, that 2023 year was big for beers, and Molson struggled. It went way down. So I would love to see what happens in 2025. Hopefully it steadies out and then goes back up, but we will have to wait and see for that. Very different types of managing financing and debt levels. Again, that year-to-year thing is just boom, very straight. Anheuser, very gradual. Instead of Molson Coors, very spiky. The valuation and growth. I did net sales. Anheuser-Busch dominates, showing steady year-to-year growth and pulling far ahead in total net sales. I mean, they have over quadrupled their net sales. Anheuser really is killing it. Molson Coors is lower, but they stay consistent, but doesn't have much growth. While being consistent is good, you want to get, it's just like a stock. You want to buy when they're making those leaps. In Molson Coors, they're just staying steady. Anheuser-Busch is a gradual growth, which has been great for them. The gap between the two companies is growing, and it doesn't seem that Molson Coors will catch up anytime soon. Unless they turn around a lot, their mindset needs to change because they are not catching them anytime soon. Which company is better? It's Anheuser-Busch. It's a clear winner. They have strong profitability, steady long-term growth, and higher total sales. Strong engagement with sponsors, and gets their name out there. I think that's one of the main things. More people know Anheuser-Busch's products. And not many. Molson Coors, my dad drinks Miller Lite. But you don't see many people anymore. It's an older guy beer. They have to get with the younger generation. Molson Coors has potential, though, with better inventory turnover and stable leverage, but lacks in many other departments. If they can improve cost control, then they could shoot up. We look back. Their inventory turnover, amazing. But they need to gain money from it. And they need to sell more. This is my works cited page. I hope you enjoyed my project. This has been pretty fun to work on. Thank you.